Okay, so before we start today, we were jokingly saying that the mic better turn on and work. And we all know what happened. And we were
just trying to craft our podcast career.
Pave a bright future ahead.
Yep.
Lo and behold, we didn't turn on the mic.
Yep.
So if you were listening to the last episode and you were wondering why the sound was so scratchy, I apologize. But we were not going to record again because the content was good. And I'm not going to remember everything.
And he's never going to repeat anything that he has said. So...
And that's actually...
You guys just got to bear with us.
Yeah.
With our glitches.
Yeah. So that when we reach the 1000 episode and we are in a studio totally pro with cameras everywhere, we can look back and say we have come a long way. But as for now, we haven't. So anyway, welcome to Slow Podcast, focusing on that which takes time to grow with Kevin and Esther. And here we are, yet another episode. And this time round, our mics are on.
Yep.
I can see the blue light. So, yeah, as husband and wife, now in this new episode, what would you like to talk about?
I have something in mind.
Oh, you're not telling
because
me?
I'm a planner.
Okay.
Right?
Can...
No, but before we get to it, I suddenly thought about this. We were just in America, right? And we were in a conference together. And in the conference, it seems like everybody has a podcast.
And a book.
Everybody has a book. How did you feel?
How do I
What was your personal experience sitting in a conference where, you see successful people, successful coaches, all having like a brilliant podcast channel, a best-selling book.
How do I feel?
How do you feel? Does it challenge you to, I want to be like them. I got to do more. I got to craft my thing. Like, what was it for you?
Firstly, I'm inspired lah. I think it's really, really good. It's really, really nice to see how far they have gone. Yeah, that's me.
That's all?
Huh?
After the inspiration?
That's why we're back here shooting podcasts on.
Oh, so you were inspired to
do something. Yeah.
And keep it consistent.
I guess at the back of my mind, maybe got that inhibition that I need to overcome, because I was thinking, we're in Asia, we're in Malaysia, like it's not the same. Like, how big is our podcast culture? And if we really reach 1000 episodes, like, are followers very significant? I don't know, maybe it will be. It's just my ignorance. But I guess contextually, very often I just keep thinking how to apply it back into our culture that works, that makes sense. So that, it's kind of like reflective of our effort, the results. What do you think? How about you?
For me, sitting there,
Number one, you want to write a book?
No, I really feel not talented.
Oh.
Probably the Asian in me. And you see those eloquent speakers and the achievement they have made for themselves. I'm sure a lot of people at the same conference probably will feel that too. Like, but I don't have that talent. What can I do? That was exactly how I feel when I compare myself to them. And it is always something that people get stuck at, isn't it? Oh, but I have no talent, so I can't. And if you talk about talent, people always think, someone who can sing, can dance, can do great math, can create things. But how do you define talent?
Yeah, I think the real issue probably isn't the talent, it's just the mindset that as Asian, we will just never be good enough. Who will listen to us?
No, we just believe that we'll never be good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Just a mindset, right?
And we believe that we have no talent.
It's a wrong belief. And it was very interesting during The Arena, organized by Irving McManus.
Yeah.
One of the struggle by one of the guests was actually accent. And that whole session mainly talk about I have an accent.
Accent.
I mean, we as Asian, we definitely have an accent that we're not American, we're not English, so we are Malaysian. They too struggle from Midwest America
Yeah.
to, whether to East Coast or West Coast. They're very concerned about an accent. Can I make it to Hollywood if my accent is not an American accent? At that time, I felt that struggle connects. Oh, I have an accent too, and I shouldn't be too overly worried about my accent. I guess as a speaker, not so much acceptance, but whether my audience understand what I'm saying, and I feel if I know that they understand what I'm saying, then I can do really well. Which suddenly, now that you brought this up, then on Sunday I went to speak. That was bad. That was bad because
How do you define bad?
yeah, I think when I define bad, when I fail to connect with my audience, I think that's a bad talk. Because I guess when you go to a new place, you will never know everybody. It's not like your home turf, people that listen to you all the time. But this was different. This was, I don't know them, but there were different categories, a segment in the audience that are very, very different. I have a group that understand English. I have a group that totally don't understand English. And I have a group of younger people that understand English. So it feels like when I make an illustration, it makes sense to one particular group, but it doesn't make sense to another group. And the other particular group that don't understand English has got to wait for the live translation on their earpiece before it register, and if it was a joke, it would be a bit too late to laugh. My issue was I did not know. Had I known my audience were that segregated, I will probably think of a more middle ground kind of illustration and not too maybe Asian bias, Asian context kind of an illustration, somewhere middle that makes sense. Yeah, so
I think when it comes to that, we had this conversation with a friend too, right? It's in our context, being where we are Malaysians, we kind of know many languages,
yeah.
right? So we try to adapt different people's accent. If we're speaking to American, we try to speak more rounder English. If we speak with British, we try to ask them whether they would like a cup of tea, right? Try to copy the accent. But generally, our friends were very surprised that every Malaysian knows at least 3 languages,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or at least could understand and speak. But the trouble with that is we never fully master a language, isn't it? Like we don't really get skilled at one particular language.
Maybe not. Maybe I cannot agree with that. I think we mastered English. The real issue is the jumbling up of the one sentence can have 3 languages inside in Malaysia. Because we are speaking to a Malaysian audience. When we travel and we speak overseas, we're very careful, the slang, the the wang doodles, don't keep coming out. Otherwise, it really doesn't make sense to people. And I guess we will not understand because we are never in a society that only speaks English.
Yeah.
Because I realized if some locals speak English very much according to whatever ethnicity they were, sometimes I realize I potentially don't understand what they're saying even though they're speaking to each other in English. I guess that's a struggle. Because if you ask us to write, I think we can write, right? Probably not.
Model answers.
Model answers, yeah, probably not like New York bestsellers kind of a standard, but we can write. It makes sense. People can understand what we write. I really just feel that the struggle is in the accent, in the adapting our local slang accent into speaking English that makes it very hard for native audience to actually understand. Actually, why are we talking about this?
I have no idea. Oh, we're talking about accent.
Talent.
Talent and then
Or
accent.
how we were made to feel when we were there, when we realized all these people are so gifted and talented. But I like what Erwin said. He said sometimes when you work so hard that people confuse your persistence and resilience to talent.
Yeah.
I really love that because it reflects so much about the two of us. Remember how in the early days we tried to run the drama team in our church? There's nobody. We haven't got a crew. We're not professionally trained. We just learn by rehearsing, repeating the mistakes,
Again and
overcoming
again.
them again and again, and stay till late at night. And then after that, people think we're very talented. Until today, I don't think we are. But I guess one thing that I would compensate what I was not talented in with ridiculous amount of sacrifice and hard work. We would stay at church for rehearsal until 3 o'clock in the morning and not letting people go. Those were crazy days. And our baby was sleeping in, what's that thing?
No, he's
Baby
just
carriage.
sleeping on a chair
On a chair.
somewhere.
But I like it. I like because
But
they're doing
sometimes
something.
we just wish, I wish I have more talent. I just wish, quick fix. Like,
Really?
would it be nice if I had that brilliant talent of public speaking?
No, public speaking is not a talent. It's definitely hard work, dear.
Okay, then what is a talent?
At this point of time, I'm confused. Is painting a talent? Because I had a rough day. I couldn't produce. I was so upset with myself.
But in order for you to get to where you are today, to be able to sell thousands for an art,
Tens of thousands.
tens of thousands,
Hopefully hundreds of thousands, right? See? My
if
team
you
agree.
don't groom that talent,
Precisely, right? You are
So
just
maybe
you are just
actually-
contradicting yourself.
So
Grooming yourself.
maybe all
training
of us
yourself
actually,
is
none of us have talents. we
Hey
just
guys,
discover our
if
likings.
you are listening to this today, I hope you're not discouraged because my wife just made a really, really big statement. No one is talented. Okay, fine.
We got to practice our
no,
craft.
no.
It's about practicing the craft,
No, I think
persistence, resilience, until a point where
okay,
you're
but
so
one
good
of
at
our
it.
staff, Sarah, the son was really talented in drawing. I never could draw like that when I was at the same age. Actually, I can't even draw like that until now. So, I guess some talents are probably more hidden than obvious.
Oh, I have a cousin, remember? He could remember directions way before Waze even
Is that a talent?
existed. He will go to a place for one time, and after that, he will remember exactly how to go to that place as a child.
Yeah.
And he would remember car plate numbers.
Hey, buddy, you're definitely gifted because I would use Waze and still get the wrong way. Okay, maybe in the raw form, talent is quite indistinguishable. To put in the hard work to perfect the craft probably require a lot more from us. But yeah, so
The moral of the story is
okay, so my math is really bad. Can I say I have no talent for it?
but you can count money,
I can't do ad maths.
right? Remember we had a competition in the restaurant at one time.
Whoever gets the closest to the actual bill doesn't have to pay.
Yeah, and you got it right. You always get it right. So you do have talent in math.
Well, I don't think our audience will agree that that is issue of talent. But I suppose on the base level, in its rawest form talent is quite hard. But some talents really not so obvious. Some talents probably have to put in a lot more hard work to get the result.
Yeah, for that average Joe who always feel that they have no talent, like someone like me, actually we do have something that we're good at.
Yeah.
But it's recognizing it and then
Average
grooming
Joe.
it. Right?
Yeah.
And I think
Putting
that
in the
is
time.
most important, rather than giving yourself the excuse, telling yourself that I'm just not as talented as other people.
Yeah. True. My favorite line is you have to perfect your craft. Trial and error, learning, upscaling, keep at it. And setbacks doesn't mean you're not talented. And I think that's important to talk about. I think sometimes when people fail or they can't achieve what they set out to achieve, maybe in the first attempt, maybe 5th attempt, maybe the 10th attempt, then they conclude that they're not talented. And we hear so many inspiring stories like Abraham Lincoln, like 39 times he was rejected and finally he became the president of the United States of America. And I don't know, maybe Steve Jobs has a story like that, or Bill Gates have a story like that. So I guess it suits our title, focusing on that which takes time to grow. Slow podcast. We just have to focus and find one thing to focus. And I like one of our episodes, just keep learning whatever you're learning, because you never know which one ultimately will become something that will determine the success of your life.
If you've missed that episode, do check it out.
Yeah, but we cannot guarantee whether that was the episode that we turned on the mic or not.
I think we did.
We did?
I think so.
Now I'm very conscious. But let us know your thoughts, your comment, and what do you think.
Yeah, follow us on our Instagram at Catholic7.
Every episode we have different things to follow.
At Catholic7.
Like subscribe Catholic7.
At Esther Ku, and drop us questions if you have questions about talent and you felt something we talked about resonated with you, or you disagree with us. Talk to us.
That's fine. We are open for discussion. Hope you enjoyed this episode and see you soon. Take care now. Bye.